Hello, my name is Erik Johannes. I'm a researcher at SINTEF in Norway, and in this video I'll present our work on creating carbon-aware machine learning pipelines and how we can make greener machine learning models while spending less energy. So, how can we make machine learning development more sustainable? We all know that training machine learning models is quite expensive, but what about the other stages of the development process? You have data pre-processing, feature engineering, perhaps scaling the data, also evaluating the data and the model, and perhaps even generating explanations using techniques such as SHAP and LIME. All of these stages consume energy, not only the training stage. So how can we make all of this be as efficient as possible and consume as little energy as possible? We have made a tool called D2M, short for Data to Model, which is a tool for developing ML models. And as you can see from this figure, it quickly gets quite complex. You have all of these different stages: data cleaning, feature engineering, splitting the training and test set, scaling, and so on. But the key contribution of D2M is actually how it integrates measurements of the energy consumption and the carbon emissions into the pipeline itself. D2M tracks the energy consumption and estimates the carbon emissions for each of the stages, so we get a report afterwards for how much emissions have been produced by developing the ML models. But not only that, it also stores intermediate output between the stages in a cache. So if you rerun stages with the same configuration as before, it automatically fetches from cache instead of recomputing the whole stage. And that enables you to save a lot of energy and emissions. Here is an example of the results from our study. We tested this approach on many different datasets. And in this figure, we can see the carbon emissions used for developing ML models for various datasets, and it's broken down on the emissions per pipeline stage. We can see that the training stage consumes the most in gray, but also the feature engineering stage in green often consumes a lot of energy as well. The main highlight from our study is, however, how we can actually make greener ML models. And we see that by applying, for example, feature engineering, you can get a high performance for very little cost, because feature engineering allows you to use simpler machine learning algorithms rather than complex ones. Also, we see that the full data pre-processing can actually amount to just as much energy consumed as the training process itself. So, the takeaway here is that many traditional machine learning algorithms, they are actually more efficient than neural networks, but they require more analysis of the data before you start training. That's actually the key message from the whole study and this work, that you should actually take the time to analyze and pre-process the data properly, because then you are able to choose the most efficient ML algorithm and not only the highest performing one. Scan this QR code to look at our full study and look into more details.